One of the things that a lot of clients feel when they come and see me is that they can't eat out. And I'm a person who loves to eat out, and we have lots of clients who own restaurants. And you can perfectly eat towards your goals when you eat out. Is there going to be some variance in calories? Yes, but there's always access to the essentials. One thing that I do when I walk into a restaurant is first I'll just check the menu before to make sure it actually fits what fits our allergies as our family, and it kind of meets my goals. But majority of restaurants will always have a serving of protein. So I always like to make sure I have a serving of protein because that's what helps me with satiety. It helps me with performance. It helps me with recovery, and it helps me with my immune system. And the second thing I hunt for is vegetables. Whenever I try to eat, I try to make sure, can I get vegetables on there? So when you go to a restaurant, I don't always have to worry about on their menu and try to change things around. I really just look at the menu and say, hey, there's a serving of protein I would like, and there is some vegetables or a salad that they have, so I'll just get that. I generally don't eat too many carbs at restaurants because a lot of the rices and potatoes will have stuff added to them, or they're deep fried, so I generally just kind of stay away from them unless they say it's just steamed rice. But in general, what I'll just say is, can I get a piece of protein grilled with no sauce? If there's a sauce that comes with it, I just say, can you put it on the side? And is it deep fried? No. Perfect. So I'll get a piece of fish or a piece of meat, and then I'll just ask them for some vegetables. The last place I went out to, they gave me lamb and they gave me asparagus with some lemon juice and some salt. That was perfect. And I was still able to have my glass of wine. Whenever you go out to eat, I always remind clients that it will have what you need to get the nutrients in so that you feel good. And then we can go back to just saying, okay, you ate those two things. Now, if you want to have a glass of wine or dessert after, not a problem. The key is you got the core nutrients in to help your body perform so that afterwards you don't feel like you have to go home and take a nap or the next day feel like garbage. So whenever you eat out, very easy. Okay, so let's say you have a great weekend, you're out with some people, and the next thing you know, the wheels fall off, you're out and you had a banger of a night. So some things that you can do to get back on track. So one is if you're in the summer and you're traveling to a cottage and you have an issue with meal prep, getting back on Mondays, one of the best ways to get back on track are to call meal prep company in advance, knowing that you're going to be away from the weekend and you know that Monday it's going to be hard for you to get back on track. So there's Chibis, there's Auto Meal Prep, there's Flavor Daddy. You can call all of those companies, let's say on the Thursday or the Wednesday before you're going away for a long weekend or a weekend away at a cottage. So that way Monday, you know, you might order anywhere between 3 to 5 meals one time, and that way you're back on track. So that's an easy way for you to get back on track, especially because you're going to be tired. You may not have gone to the grocery store, so you've got all your meals delivered on Monday, ready to go. The second thing that I have to remind my clients is try to start back with a little bit more food. So some people will fall off the wagon. They'll say, I'm going to go no carbs Monday, Tuesday. And then by Wednesday, the cravings and everything is so high. So just think, you went from eating in such a calorie surplus and highly palatable foods, and the next day you're going to cut everything as fast as you can. And the next thing on Tuesday, Wednesday, you're starving. So what I just tell my clients is let's go to eating more real food, right? So let's go back to your protein portions. Let's go back to vegetables. Let's double the vegetables on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's double your fruit intake. Let's get you some more starch. Let's keep you really full because that's the best way for you to get back on track. Because in general, real food will give you a lot of volume, keep you really full, and it's generally less in calories. So I just say, if you need more fruit or rice or potatoes for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to get back on track, do that. Try not to go back to the protocol or the lowest calories that you were doing. Give yourself a chance to start back with just focusing on getting full and feeling better. And then from there, you can worry about dropping the calories in the next phase. Just really think about what's the goal of what you're trying to achieve. If you fell off the wagon, is you're just trying to get back to feeling better, feeling full, killing your cravings, and just getting back on a routine. So don't try to cut calories at that point. And if you're one of my clients, you can probably write a comment on there about how that's helped you, how we have what we call just a protocol to get you back on track. Then the week after, if you're not going away, then from there, you could lower your food portions. Something you should pay attention to when you're doing your programming is remember that all programs are not forever. This is something that I have to debunk with a lot of my clients. They say, oh, I have to be in a calorie deficit forever. It's like, no, you don't. Or sometimes they'll say to me, I can't go this low forever. 100%, we don't want you to go that low. And we don't want you to live there but we may need to bring you into a place of uncomfort. Or if you're in a digestive rebuild, we might say, let's take out gluten, let's take out dairy, let's do the elimination diet so that this way we can see how your body's reacting. And people say, well, I can't do this forever. Say, we don't need to do this forever, but where you are right now in your chapter of your nutrition, this may be, based on your complaint, the 3 to 5 best tips that are going to get your body back up and running to deal with this current situation. So a lot of times I tell clients, don't think of this as forever. We're going to try this for 4 to 6 weeks. It's a part of the bigger plan, but this first chapter has to be focused on to get you into the next chapter. I had a call from a client the other day. She was talking about wanting to start the program, but she didn't want to start in summer. And I said, yeah, that makes sense. You're going to be busy, but at the same time, we can look at it from another flip perspective. Do you want to go through the summer knowing that you're going to gain about 5, maybe let's say we're 5 to 10 pounds, right? So in general, in our office, September and January are the 2 months that most of our clientele is the heaviest, right? And it makes sense because after the summer holidays, there's lack of routine, and December, there's lack of routine. So I said, you could look at it from a perspective of if you start making 2 to 3 changes that are micro changes that you're able to do when you're discussing with me and we're putting together a plan, we can say, hey, the goals for this month are drink 2-3 liters of water, take a 10-minute walk after you eat protein at every meal, and make sure you have a salad at lunch. Perfect. That was the plan. She decided to come in. That was the plan we set. She emailed me back in the summer because she's been traveling. She's like, I've already lost 3 pounds to 4 pounds just from doing those things. And she goes, I'm still having fun with my friends. Perfect. The next month, we gave her a couple of new goals because now she found that very easy. So the big thing that a lot of people are doing is they think that they have to give up everything. The key is, can we pick 3 or 4 things that move you in the direction towards your goal? So that way in September, you're not starting plus 10 pounds and then you need to use all this effort at 150%, which we know at some point you're going to burn out of. But if we just build it up and make up some nice progressional changes, that's going to help you long term. So at the end of the year, you still attacked your goal. You didn't need a lot of energy, but you also weren't keep putting your body behind schedule. You're able to start right away making changes. And then what happens at the end of the summer? You're like, wow, I actually lost 7 pounds. And last year I gained 8. So you're already down 15 pounds. Now, when you start to look at September, October, November, you're able to make these transitions and you're still able to see a better progression at the end without stressing yourself out. So, one thing when clients talk to me on the phone about whether they should join the program, listen, the people who always are the best are you ready for change and are you open to change? And if you can do 1 change per month, that's great because it's better than 0. So just remember that there's never a good time or a bad time to start. It's just you have to sit down with someone sometimes and go through the conversation and understand what does your next month look like so you can make up the plan that at least puts you in a positive mindset and right direction instead of just waiting for it to be 100% on and 100% off. That long-term doesn't work. One of the tools that I have seen to be the biggest success with, I tell clients all the time, is track your food. Now, it doesn't mean you have to use an app. An app is great for education. I believe that, but it just means writing it down. Just think, I always say in the office, your body is a business and you need some type of tracking system. And the great part is you're already good at tracking. You're already good at organizing. You track your receipts, you track your expenses, you organize your trips, you organize your kids' activities. So doing some type of tracking with your food is important, right? So it could be just writing down what you ate that day and just on a piece of paper and looking at it and just saying, okay, I have a tracking system. Anytime you have a tracking system, you're going to be able to make educated changes because you actually can see, right? When you don't write it down, I tell people you're living too much in the emotional state. And I think I read a research paper that they say that people are often off their calories by about 40%. So just by writing things down gives you that. So I believe in tracking any type of system that you'll do. But as my clients know, I tell people food logs are everything. It doesn't matter how you track it. It's a matter of, are you tracking it? So if you're looking to see change and you want to find out how you're actually eating, you'll find it very fast when you write it down. And as many of my clients will tell you, the first week that they had to write down what they wrote before they came and saw me, they said it was an eye opener because they didn't realize that's actually the way they ate. Good exercise for yourself to learn more about yourself is just write down what you're eating. And then if you go to a nutritional manual, any type of nutritional manual, and compare it to what you're actually doing to what they're saying you should do, you'll probably see some discrepancies of some things that you can actually work on. So tracking is always a good system. It's never bad. Don't look at it as punishment, because you already track your money. You track your where people are with their cell phones. You track your luggage if you're going on a vacation. You track where your kids are. You want to track everything. So at the end of the day, we are all good at tracking, but we look at food as, for some reason, when we look at food and tracking our food, we look at it as punishment, but yet we track everything else in life. And I would say, if you have a goal, tracking it will get you there faster. Okay. The question came in is, what are some best practices to reduce body fat? Number one, make sure you're getting at least 7 hours of sleep per night, because we generally see clients who are better sleepers have an easier time reducing body fat. Number two is lifting weights, because making sure that you are building muscle, so that will help with reducing body fat. Number three is going to be reduction of food sensitivities. We generally will see people will have higher levels of cortisol, and we can also see that they're retaining more water when they eat food sensitivities. Number four is walking, especially my females and my males over the age 40 to 45. I see as their stress levels increase and let's say sleep quality isn't as high, I just seen walking that 10,000 steps really helps. It's very easy on their body, and they are able to breathe instead of putting themselves through high intensity interval training. I see weights with 10,000 steps be a very good process. And then number five is going to be using 2 or 3 different types of supplementation that help with reducing body fat. So things like anything that helps with lowering cortisol, things like Relora, phosphatidylserine, magnesium can be very good at reducing body fat. So those would be the 5 things that we commonly see as helpful tips for helping clients lose body fat. But good.